Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of our Malicious Compliance. In today's episode, Burnt Onion Rings. Well, she did exactly as I asked. Old man learns a good lesson. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Burnt onion rings. We all can agree that onion rings should be crispy. There is not much worse than soggy, floppy, undercooked onion rings. My dad had had enough of his subpar onion rings. He decided to order his onion rings burnt. His reasoning was that no respectable restaurant would actually burn the onion rings. Instead, they would pull them out at the last moment, leaving golden, crispy, delightfully perfect onion rings. This worked every time. Until it didn't. Cue the restaurant's malicious compliance. My dad did his usual order of burnt onion rings. He sat down and awaited his perfect order, congratulating himself on subverting the system when the waiter brought out his plate of black, charred, burnt onion rings. But he couldn't send them back. It was exactly what he ordered. We all stared at the plate silently until my dad broke the silence, laughing at his defeat. The next time he went to the restaurant, he smiled a sheepish smile and ordered his onion rings simply extra crispy. Well, she did exactly as I asked. Honestly, the compliance probably wasn't malicious, but I don't know of a better sub for this story. And I finally have one I can tell, so I'm going for it. So, my job has me traveling to nearby cities for property appraisal. My team and I will stay in a particular city for a couple weeks and then move on until we come back around 2 years later. A lot of these cities are tiny, think populations less than 5,000. Because these towns are so small, lunch options are few, so we end up picking one we like and sticking to it. We joke about what the staff might think, a group of strangers suddenly visiting the place every day like clockwork for a few weeks and then disappearing never to be seen again. The restaurant in the city we're about to leave, a little Mexican place, has a surprisingly diverse menu, so I've been able to try something different every time we've visited. One of their items I've gotten a few times, a cheeseburger with chopped grilled veggies and bacon on it. From my co-workers' experiences, the cook staff is pretty open to customizing the order, so, since this is the last time I'll get to eat their food, I decided I'd change it up a little and have them put some of their really good queso on the burger. So the waitress, a middle-aged Mexican woman, comes to take our order. Me, I'd like the Mexi burger, please. And could you put queso on it, please? Waitress 1, queso, she asks, raising an eyebrow at me. Me, yes, please. That queso is good. She says okay, takes our menus and goes to enter our order. A few minutes go by and another, much younger waitress comes back to our table to get clarification. Waitress 2, did you want the queso on your burger or did you want it on the side? Me, thinking for a second, on the burger. She says okay and hurries off the kitchen. A few more minutes pass and the first waitress puts my plate in front of me and I instantly start laughing. Y'all, she thought I wanted a smothered burger. I couldn't even be mad. I guess I should have made sure they understood I wanted them to use the queso as a condiment. And, while it didn't come out quite like I wanted, the burger did taste good with the queso. Old man learns a good lesson. Everyone of a certain age who remains in contact with their parents will know the story. Parents agree to come to help out with young children or dog sitting. Parents arrive in great flurry of, "Don't panic, the cavalry's here." Parents proceed to put their feet up while you run around catering to their whims and making tea. Then parents say, "Oh, I'm easy, whatever you have in the fridge, but what I'd really like is 2 eggs, soft-boiled, a slice of toast 5 mm thick with 12 grams of butter and a devilled kidney, but only if it's no bother, of course, and by the way, I don't eat Dijon mustard. Do you have any Pommery and what's for dinner?" A relative of mine, a member of the notorious cavalry, recently suffered a case of acute malicious compliance. Staying with us, he got an invitation to an old friend's around lunchtime. Asked if he'd come round and whether he'd like lunch, he said, "Oh, don't go to any trouble." This means, to him, that he'll be fine with 2 courses and wine, don't worry about pud, but if there's any cheese of course he won't say no, he wouldn't want to be rude, and quartz cheddar is his favorite. Merrily, he totters off, bearing a bottle of Chateau Fleet Street, expecting a groaning table. His hosts don't go to any trouble. They seat him and they drink his plunk, having a convivial chat, presumably having eaten before he knocks on the door. He returns, hours later, hungry and grumbling that he has not eaten. I'm still giggling, months later. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.